And in the wake of that Lugo decision, the Target 12 investigators are taking an in-depth look at how police officers are punished. This as the Providence Police Department says they will move forward in their attempt to terminate Lugo, which triggers the Law Enforcement Officers' Bill of Rights.
Target 12 investigator Tim White joins us live in studio now. And Tim, you've done extensive reporting on this law known as LEOBOR.
Yep.
Now that the criminal case against Lugo is over, the administrative one can begin.
Yeah, that's right. The LEOBOR process has been on hold awaiting the criminal case to wrap up. Now, by law, if any police officer is suspended without pay for more than 2 days, the officer can demand a LEOBOR hearing. And here's how it works. Under the law, a 3-member panel made up of other police officers is convened. That panel will act as the judge and jury for the hearing. The police department that is bringing the violations gets to choose the first member, and the accused officer chooses the second. Then those 2 members pick the third, who will act as the chairperson of the group. Now, if neither side can agree on the third person, the presiding justice of the Superior Court will choose from a list provided by both sides. Now, the hearing is very much like a trial, with the law enforcement agency presenting evidence and testimony supporting departmental violations, and the officer, often represented by a union lawyer, puts forth evidence for their defense. But unlike a criminal trial, where most proceedings happen in the public's view, my experience has been those LEOBOR hearings are closed door. We are shut out, and that is not in the law itself. But the effect has been the public is in the dark about the case, even though the taxpayers foot the bill.
I feel like we don't often hear a lot about these hearings. Is it because they're held behind closed doors?
Yeah, possibly, but I think the main reason is they're fairly rare. It's not uncommon, of course, for police officers to get disciplined for departmental violations, but they are often punished under the 2-day threshold, so it doesn't trigger LEOBOR. And an officer may just accept the punishment and avoid the hearing entirely, or resign rather than face termination. By my count, there were only 2 hearings in the past year, both in North Providence. In one case, the officer was demoted a rank, and in the other, the officer retired a few weeks after the hearings began.
Now, Tim, LEOBOR has been under the microscope recently. Just last year, there was a push at the State House to reform this law. Yeah,
and those proposals range from minor amendments to an outright repeal of the law. A task force convened by the State Senate recommended a bill that would have, among other changes, increased the maximum suspension before triggering LEOBOR from 2 to 14 days. It would have also reconfigured the panel to add more neutral parties and allow police chiefs to talk about the investigations of officers publicly. Right now, believe it or not, they're forbidden by law from doing so. Efforts stalled out with just days left in the 2021 legislative session, so the bills died. But I would not be surprised if reform bills are filed again next legislative session.
Yeah, I doubt this is the last we will see of LEOBOR. All right, Tim White, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.